It feel like Miami. Miami, 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 Miami. It feel like Miami.
Welcome to the TP podcast. I'm your host, Giancarlo Navas. It's not a phase, guys. It's just not. I'm not feeling so great after all the Dame stuff. After a lot of Kyle Lowry trade talk on the timeline, and I don't know, man. I want today to express myself as best as I can, and joining me today, we got our 2K coach and pre-gaming host Franky G.
Chat, G has says it's not a phase like 10 times.
It's not a phase. It's not a phase, bro. It's not a phase. We got the reality check master, Tiffanny Meeks.
What's up? I'm also wearing something that makes me show my emotions. I don't know if you guys can see this out there, but Franky, you'll love this. My shirt says Scott's Tots.
Oh my God, that's great. That's beautiful.
Yeah, man. And we're also welcoming in the great Siobhan.
Hey, not really sure what happened there, but what's up? Hey, guys.
How we doing? And we also got the intern Pablo behind the ones
Petey.
and twos. Shout out to Pablito out here
Pete,
helping us. But we have media day to talk about. Lots to get into today. We got Ball Out Boy. We got, as chat says, 22 days grace.
Someone said, what was it? Gym class hero?
Gym class hero. That is so good. I love it. I loved all the jokes. It was, what a day. Listen, I guess I want to start here, guys. The vibes over the weekend were rancid. Were absolutely rancid. And today, I got to give it to Jimmy. Single-handedly made everyone happy. We're all just like, he's the best. And, I don't know. I'm in a good mood. I thought today was going to be miserable, but I don't know. I'm happy.
I mean, we're just grateful to have Jimmy. Like, he's such a positive vibe to it. Like, he just keeps it light, keeps it fun. Like, he has this immeasurable confidence every fucking year. And he talks about we're getting back to the finals. We'll be back. I'll hit the shot next time. And he does, and he backs it up. Like, he backs it up all the damn time. Like, it doesn't matter if you give him the All-American rejects. It doesn't matter who you give him on the team. He has a simple plan. He's going to attack, and he's going to come out, and he's going to say, "We the Kings." He's a talent. Like, you wish some people would just say anything, but it's Jimmy. Jimmy doesn't just say anything. He's like the top notch. He's got a quote for everything. The lip piercing. He did a much better job on the eyeliner than you did,
bro. Do you know? I'll fix my makeup. I'll fix my makeup while you talk, but this shit ain't easy, bro. This shit ain't easy.
What, you look like a hockey player. You look like you play rugby for fun. Like, unpadded.
We said G-liner. We don't have the budget for a makeup artist. Okay, so I'm doing the best I can. I went to Publix. I bought eyeliner. I spent $10 on this.
I said G looks like one of the robbers from Home Alone. Like that's what
Oh my goodness.
the
No,
beauty.
Frankie,
It's tough.
you're right though. Like G, you're right too. Like, and it's not like you're completely removed from the events of the weekend. Like the weekend happened, it is what it is. But you can call it corny or whatever, but it's effective. Like he just comes in that way, and you kind of, at least for some moments, you forget about the Dame, the Drew. You kind of forget about all of that for a little bit. It's media day. You're supposed to have fun. It's supposed to be, the start of the season. It should be a lighthearted feel to it. And for better or for worse, by all these crazy memes, he does that for this team. That's a leader, and that's someone who is super secure and authentic in himself enough to be able to do shit like that and really genuinely be unbothered. Like folks talk about being unbothered all the time, but he like truly is. And again, for all of its kind of commotion it caused, it was effective. But now we're here, we're at the present business of the moment. So but yeah, that was, I appreciate him in a way kind of for that.
He goes home to Shakira. He's got no reason to be shy or ashamed of anything. He can do whatever he wants.
Apparently,
He's
I got
cool.
the wrong eyeliner. Apparently, I can't use liquid eyeliner. I didn't know there were multiple kinds of eyeliner. Chat says I'm gonna get pink eye.
She's never gonna be able to go to that CVS again.
Who's Publix? It was my Publix, and I'm just standing there like hands on. You know the meme of the guy standing in front of like the open elevator with his hands on his hips?
No.
No.
That was me in front of the the eyeliner section.
Yeah. I wanted to know the meme too.
I did too.
Yeah. But so yeah, man. So I genuinely think that they needed kind of an emotional lift today, and I thought he gave it. And we're gonna get into all that happened in media day, but he's a special guy, and I think when you talk about what a superstar has to do, a lot of times it's just not on the court. It's like, okay, like obviously, like we just had a disaster offseason. There's nothing they can do. There's two ways to go about it. You could sit there and you could blame Cronin or Riley or the NBA for step. You could blame other people. The Harrisons, or you could just say, fuck it, we ball. And this man went out there and he's like, let's have some fun. I'm gonna make the talk of Heat Media Day, not that Dame is not there, but that I look like this. And I don't know, man. It takes a special kind of guy to do that, and who's okay to laugh and have fun. And listen, a lot of the conversations on Twitter today are not about Damian Lillard. I will tell you that. And I think that matters going into training camp. They have a bit of a boost.
Right.
Right, Bon?
No, Tiff, go ahead.
Go, Tiff.
Oh, all right. No, I literally agree with everything everybody said here. I think it was very, what I love about him, that he's very calculated and shows intention in everything that he does, off the court and on the court. It's interesting because other players would have gone about this a totally different way, and they would have piled on to the chaos that happened over the weekend, and they would have brought it into media day. And he basically came into media day and said, what you want? This is what I got. This is what I'm giving you, and this is what we're gonna do. And I think like sometimes we don't appreciate that enough. Like, and you know me, so you can look at it this way: like, had this been someone else that maybe played for the Heat once upon a time that now plays for the Lakers, they would have came in, and the whole situation would have been different. We would have heard about how there's not enough help, how we need more. I need more. I need more. And sadly, Jimmy will take on whatever it is and say, this is enough. Whether it is or not, because we can agree to disagree, or we all know at the end of the day, it's not enough. But he will take it, and he will rise to the occasion as best as he can. And that's where he can flip his hair and keep it moving.
And Tiff, and even if it isn't like the massive, like the big piling on answers, like the obvious, soundbaity ass answers or answers that speak to needing more and all this other stuff, you still have young guys. You have a team who knows what they've just been through. You know who you are and your rank and kind of your placement on the team, and just assuming the mantle of just not even giving them too much space to get off any kind of negativity, any type of little areas that they may have stumbled in their media, in their interviews. And again, at least for like a question 2, 5, 10 minutes, it lets people settle in and get kind of present in a smooth and like easy, lighthearted, relaxed type of way.
Yeah,
But that's the thing. Oh, sorry, Frankie, go ahead. No, because it's just kind of like, honestly, what else is there for Jimmy to do?
Yeah.
Like the entire situation was and is out of his control. So there is nothing for him to do. There was no captain save a whole day. He just had to stand by and hope and wish and pray. All right, so things didn't go his way. And Jimmy's the type of guy who's been scratching and clawing his whole life. So to me, this was just another bump in the road that he intends to drive over.
And what I love about Jimmy kind of has that mentality that like coaches love and strive for. Like we've all coached and played against teams that are more talented than us, but at the same time, when you play against them, you could have done stuff better. There's always stuff you can do better, and that's Jimmy's focus. And that's why Jimmy's a great leader. His focus is we didn't have enough, we didn't play well enough, and if we play well enough, we can beat that team. Like, we might have to play a perfect game, perfect series, or close to perfect. But if we do better, we can beat them.
But it can be done.
It can be done. Exactly. That's the right mindset. It's not, it can be done if I get James Harden. It can be done if I get Damian Lillard. If you get me help, we didn't get Damian Lillard, that's why we lost. That's not a reason in Jimmy's head. And that's why he's the embodiment of Heat culture.
He's the GOAT. I mean, he's everything that you kind of want in your star, as I said. And I wanted to take the moment to talk about that because what Fix says all good news, even if the Bucks and Celtics wins, at least they're not world champions. That runner can go to hell. At the end of the day, man, they have what they have. And, he injected a life into them that I didn't know how they would approach the start of the season. I mean, Tyler, by the way, credit to him, and we'll talk about him in a second. Just answering, he said all the right things. I'm like very proud of him. Before we move off of Jimmy, at least in the funny part, Pablo, could you play the video of Jimmy walking in? Because it is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It is peak hilarity.
Don't make me break character.
Right?
I cannot imagine what that must have been like.
I love it.
It's the parting of the banks for me.
Boom.
It's when he parts the bangs.
Yes.
Like, dude, like right here. That right there. Like a fucking pro, dude.
He practiced that like 3 times before he came out.
No,
How
that
was
man,
I don't even think he practiced it. He just has
He got it in him. He got it.
He just got it. Woke up like this.
Yes.
If he practiced it,
Look at
done it no
the
hand.
facial structure, the bone, like the look, and she sits. Like, give him his 10.
Yes. Across 10s across the board for that look, Jimmy.
Okay, so we can agree that outdoes last media day, correct?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't even remember what his hair was last
The dreads.
day.
The dreads.
It was those. Yeah.
That was dread Jimmy.
We most recently just saw him with them big ass beads at the end of his pineapple. Like, Jimmy, take the fucking beads off.
He's clacking.
The big wooden ones.
This far and away outdoes that, and I don't think it's close.
I agree.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement how not close it is. But yeah, guys, so I guess a good start in that sense. And I think obviously, kind of going into the year, he's gonna have a lot of expectations. But I think we kind of know that, Jimmy, at a certain point, man, it's gonna be come till April for him, and he just has to stay healthy and kind of give them what he does is 25 and 5 a night. Some nights giving a shit, some nights not. And I think it's on the fan base to not get mad, because I think he's proven that he knows how to pace himself throughout the year, and kind of expecting him to give 100% is just not a winning formula for them. I don't think it's bullshit that they genuinely believe, like, as long as we get in the playoffs, we're fine. We can beat anybody. I think they genuinely believe that, right?
I think so too.
Now, whether you should give yourself the best chance of winning, and listen, they might say we were the 1 seed and we lost game 7 at home. right? And we were an 8 seed and we won Game 7 on the road against the same team. So, you know, they feel like as long as we get in, we can win on the road. And we have a group of guys that are tough as fuck. Because, you know, Matt Moore, HP Basketball, was talking about like they just didn't have an identity last season or a distinguishable one. And I'm just like, man, I don't know. They were tough as hell all year. And I think they showed it in the playoffs. Like that's Caleb, Jimmy, Bam. They're just a tough group. So just Jimmy, you know, Franky, fans got to be patient. Fans got to be patient with Jimmy in the regular season.
Yeah,
Franky told them that last season, and no one listened. Franky told them we have to be ready to lose.
That's why I went to him. That's why I went to him.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. That was the loud.
Yeah, no. Tez Pickett says it best. Our beef is with the organization, not Jimmy. It's just like you have to get growth from the young kids. Me and Bond were adamant about letting Tyler and Bam take their lumps. Like they're, you know, it's not always going to be pretty when they're the number one options, but they have to grow. I think it's an overlooked thing that, you know, Tyler and Bam, they came in ready to compete. Like Bam's first couple of years before Jimmy got here, he was on a don't fuck up minute load. Like anytime, do the bare minimum, do what you're good at. It wasn't explore your talents. Tyler came right in and they made it to the finals his first year. They never really had like a lot of young guys come into this league and they go out there and they make mistakes. They average 5 turnovers. Their usage is at 30%. They don't know they're shooting 35% because they're taking a lot of bad shots. But what they're doing is growing, experimenting, learning how to attack defenses, how defenses guard them and react to them. The Heat have to kind of learn on the fly, and while they're remaining competitive. And that's why, like, it wasn't always going to be pretty. And a lot, you know, the shooting variance that everyone loves to talk about didn't help their record. But, you know, at the same time, it was Tyler learning how to play on and off the ball, improving his defense, you know, playing in the motion a little bit better, not disrupting the flow of the offense. Bam being more assertive, being consistently assertive, being, you know, looking for his own shot, which is something he hasn't done since, like ever. And he kind of have to reprogram himself. And it's not always going to be pretty. Like I said, there's going to be lumps. It's not a linear growth. But, you know, I feel like fans expect guys to come in and be Dwayne Wade, and it's not always like that. And I think the same thing has to be said for this season. It's continuing the growth of Bam, Tyler, Jovic, Jaquez. See what you got. That's like, if you're going to do internal growth, give the kids the keys.
I agree, Franky.
Well,
I'm with you.
I agree with Franky. I think it's going to be. I honestly think everybody should be prepared for it to be. It could be worse, because the people that you are trying to, I don't even know what to say, that you're trying to literally introduce on the fly, like they're green. Like, you know, Slim Nicky got a few minutes here and there. Now you have the rookie you're trying to throw back in. And then, like, let's be realistic. You're still trying to infuse Thomas Bryant, who, for better or for worse, that's what you got. Now you brought back Jay Rich, who I think everybody has this fanciful idea that he's going to come in and be the guy that he was his first year. Hopefully he's not. Hopefully he's actually matured and his game is actually gone in a different direction at this point. These are a few people that are going to have to get minutes, which means there's going to be a lot of mistakes happening. So I feel like fans have to be prepared to see maybe Nicky have like a 5 turnover game and be okay with it.
Pull up Schmieden. G looks like Parappa the Rapper.
What is it?
That's that video game with the little dog.
Yeah.
Never heard of her.
You don't want to know. Anyway,
you don't want to know. It's old.
But back to what I was saying. Me and you, back to our.
The last thing that I kind of want to tackle. So like the whole internal development and just kind of player development thing. Period. In real life, it happens at stages that I don't think average or casual viewers kind of think that it does. Like it's a very, I don't know, kind of intentional process. And it starts, so you're not just like given the space to do all of the things and a bunch of minutes at the same time. So you were talking about like like Gabe and Max, part of the rebuttal to we can just rebuild these guys back up. But Gabe and Max were at one time given minutes without significant responsibilities. I just need to see that you can comport yourself well on the floor. I need to see that you can understand defense and other shit positionally, and then little by little. So then I don't even give you responsibilities. Now I give you that same amount of exposure, but just in more games and in more high pressure games. You show me you're good there. Okay, now I start introducing like little chunks of responsibility into your minutes. And I might take your minutes down some so that you can hold those responsibilities well in a small, like it's a whole kind of thing. And then you eventually get to like all the minutes, all the space to kind of cook and stuff. And even Gabe and Max weren't at that place yet. I think the next season for them would have been even more of the freedom while the same number of like minutes, that same type of load. The issue kind of now is we have the only person like at near that stage right now is Hamish. Like Hamish has had his bare minutes time when he was just thrown in the game for defense, and that's always how Spo does it. And then he had his minutes where he was given some responsibility, so now he's kind of ready to take that next step. But Jamal, this is really just going to be kind of, and I don't know that you're counting on him for real, but with regards to like the bodies that you have guys who are just now will begin to start their inconsequential just minutes section of kind of their career, and it's a whole kind of thing to build up.
We're gonna get into like more in-depth previews as training camp goes on, but like I kind of agree with everything that you guys are saying. The other thing I wanted to talk about from today is, and I referenced this a second ago, I thought the way Tyler comported himself was big time. Because listen, it's easy for him to just be there and be. Listen, I was there at a media day where Hassan Whiteside was the most pouty motherfucker.
Shocker.
There. Yeah, no, shocker. But you know what I mean? Like Tyler knew he was actively like getting shopped for like a guy that was gonna replace him. And he came in and he's like, hey, listen, you know, I don't feel not wanted, quoting the famous Tua quote. He even said, he's like, hey, listen, for those teams that didn't want me, I'm gonna show you why like I think I'm a really good player. And he just said the right things. He didn't come off as like somebody.
And he even said, for the teams that do want me, I'm going to remind you basically like why you want me.
Chip on his shoulder.
Which I think is great, because I genuinely believe that he's somebody that like just genuinely wants to win. He wants to do like what's right for the team. You know, obviously he's a young player. Every young player is going to have a little bit of ego, but I think today that ego showed positively. Where it's like, I'm going to prove you guys wrong. I'm not going to make a fuss. I'm going to come here and do my job. I'm excited for the season. I'm excited to go to work. Yeah. And I just thought.
Not make a fuss, do the things. Exactly. Not that he's ever really made a fuss per se, but, you know.
He's going to let his game do the talking. That's what he's focused on.
Yeah, which is great. Like, there's nothing more that you, chat says I look like I'm about to suit up for a state championship football game. So bad, my liners. But. What a funny sentence I just said. That's how bad my line is.
But I really like what Tyler said he was focused on, like improving for this season, was the drives, the free throws, the threes. Like, you know, his mid-range game is great. We all know that. We know he loves to get to his spots in the mid-range. Nobody wants him to completely abandon that, because you can't be a three-level scorer without the mid-range. But he has to be more assertive in the spots, distribution of the shot attempts, attacking the basket, getting to the free throw line, embracing the contact. He's got too good footwork to not attack the rim as much as he's done in the past. And the three-pointer, without extreme athleticism, like he needs to be a great shooter. He doesn't have an super explosive first step. He needs to be able to shoot the pull-up three, the catch and shoot three, and and obviously you counter that with side step threes, step back threes, mid-range, take the lane when it's there. There was too many times where he had the lane and he already has it in his head that he's going for the mid-range, and those kind of plays like are killer for you. You know, it's great to see that Tyler knows his weaknesses and what he needs to work on, and he's going to do it.
Rance Provera in chat says, I just got here. Why is G dressed like the dude from Silence of the Lambs?
He's about to put the lipstick on right now.
Frankie, put the lotion in the basket.
No, ma'am.
If G
No, ma'am.
stand up
No, ma'am.
and do this, I'm out.
I'm calling HR. What? I was accosted.
Girl, G is HR.
Bonds that D Wade commercial. Get me out of here. Listen, players are gonna a lot of times. Listen, how many times have we heard Bam say he's gonna work on his 3-point shot? He's gonna get more aggressive. For me, that's like Tyler says, I'm gonna work on getting into the line, and I'm like, okay, bet, show me. I don't really
show
give a
us.
shit. Yeah, that stuff in media I don't care about. But
it's what feels like the mental shift with it.
It's the disposition, Vaughn.
Exactly.
It's his disposition.
Yes.
And I don't like it after losses.
I don't either, and I don't want it to go the route of like humbling, but he feels whatever the effects are that come with when someone says humble yourself or kind of get a little more humble. Whatever manifests from that's kind of what he feels like. And it's I think it suits him and it's okay.
Right. Well, and also like just to be real, he's the known commodity on this team that can attempt to give them what they need as far as offense. Like, let's be realistic. Like, yes, you understand it and you were humble, but like, let's call it what it is. Like, okay, dude, you need to get your ass to the basket because you're pretty much the only one who can be doing it on a consistent basis. Like, I'm sorry, I don't want Jimmy trying to force his way to the basket, 20 games in. That's not going to work.
Right.
And when Tyler was a young player, like, Spo took him to the free throw line. So he just needs to kind of keep going to that.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's something that like he wants to be mentioned amongst the Lucas and the
Trays and shit.
And all these guys. Like, he wants to be the key offense figure, but part of that being the engine is getting that defensive pressure and attention. There were too many times where the defense is like, "Go ahead, Tyler, go one-on-one."
The question I have is, will Tyler defeat the Celtics and all the non-believers? Like, that's really what we're asking going into the year.
What does that mean, though?
Yeah, what does that mean?
I don't understand.
And why
the
does he have? And what?
Yeah, because I mean, he didn't play in that series, and then
Gee, that's a health issue. Like we'll never be able to answer that without seeing a full season of him playing. Like, that's the saddest part, is that we'll never be able to answer that unless he's healthy all season. Like, literally all season. Like, he's gonna have to not be injured for this to be a thing. And that's also why he's not the fulcrum of the offense, because when the lights are the brightest, he's not there.
Physically. Just want to know.
Physically. Yeah, he's not there.
ESPN has Tyler listed as point guard.
I'm sure they do.
So who's this starting to?
Probably Josh or Caleb.
Jay Rich, probably.
It has to be Josh. Listen. Tommy said he's been getting 2 guard reps. Give it to me. I'm jumping ahead.
Hawkins.
One of the things that I thought was interesting that Spo said is when he asked Tyler if when he grows up he would be the savior of the broken, the beaten, and the damned. I've been quoting. I've been doing black. I've been asking question in Black Parade lyrics the entire time.
Yes.
And that last one pissed me off. Like,
no, it was bad. It was bad. I just I was bad. I listen. You win some, you lose some.
Live on
you try.
No,
listen. We try shit. Tiff.
Oh no, I'm answering the question.
Talking about killers.
Oh, is Yaquez the Strus replacement? Guys, we're gonna get into. We're gonna preview the series. We're gonna preview the series. We're having fun today. We're gonna get into.
But no, it's the short answer.
But no.
I just want to say. All right. The other big thing on media day today was, I guess, who wasn't there, which was Kyle Lowry. He was there, but he decided he wasn't going to talk to the media. And Jonathan Zaslow, was very upset. This grumpy old white man was really mad that Kyle Lowry did not want to talk to Barry Jackson and Brady Hawk and Alex Toledo. It's very important that Kyle Lowry gets out there. Kyle did talk to, I believe he did the Le Batard show, and I believe he talked to Alex Solana. So, it's not like he didn't talk to anybody. He just didn't do scrum.
What are your thoughts, G?
Yes.
I don't know why do people care about that? I guess is my thing. I mean, I understand he's an unpopular player and people don't like him, and I understand that. But it's like, bro, like, do you really care? Like, and then like Zazzle's like,
yes, it's media day. It's the first organized team thing of the start of the year.
He's there. He talked to media. He just didn't talk to like every media. Talked to Levitard. He talked to some people. Like, he did interviews, right? But like Kyle, like, you guys don't like him. Why do you want? You just want access to him so you can be mad at him. There's nothing he could say. He could be like, yeah, man, I fucking started paleo and I'm running 5 miles a day. And you guys would still be mean to him. So
I mean, I didn't hear that he spoke to some people. I genuinely thought
we just heard that he didn't speak to anyone.
He didn't speak to anyone.
He did Levitard, and I believe he did Solana.
Okay.
Whatever. I think the Hawk. Right. He did some radio stuff, but he didn't do like, you know.
Honestly, I don't care.
I don't care either, and I just think that like people, I understand that like you want to move him. I think that's like totally fair. I think like moving him is like probably what's gonna happen. And like, listen, if they package him in like stuff and they get what's the trade that's floating around, Kyle at first for like Bogdanovich and Morris or whatever, Monte Morris, or the other trade with Joe Harris or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's fine. I think you do that and that helps your team. But like the idea of like you demanding an athlete to come out so you could just like be mad at him is what I'm just like, come on, guys.
Yeah, like I get that.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's the whole
I don't
entitlement thing. But
right.
Media day is
right
a thing, and so. But if he spoke to a couple people, fine.
Right.
Cool. If he didn't speak to anyone, I would have a problem.
At the end of the day, it's like, what's he gonna say? Like, he's not a star, and he's just there for people to get mad at.
But that comes with it, and some of his stuff was not necessarily of his control, but kind of some of the stuff, like I don't know. It's not all things that happened against him.
He played great. He played very well in the playoffs. He made winning play after winning play, and he was a positive, and he played well in that Milwaukee.
Played well.
He played
You're
well.
selling it with very well. He played well.
I thought he played. I mean, in the Milwaukee series, he
that's why Kyle don't want to interview.
Exactly.
I'm talking about both of y'all. He tired of your shit too.
He's tired of everybody, and I don't blame him. And I just think that, I don't know, man. Like, you could not want him on the team, but also it's like, I also feel like Heat fans, and Franky, you could probably speak to this more. I feel like chat saying that he's tired of Ethan. Somebody else said I can think of 5 reasons that. Why? What are you guys doing to Ethan? Why does Ethan make fun of Kyle?
Said she's with Kyle.
Greg, Leif is the one that fucking goes at him the hardest. But Franky, you could probably speak to this. That I think that Heat fans with Kyle are becoming like Dolphins fans, where they just celebrate getting rid of a guy. That's like the vibe I'm getting with Kyle, which is just kind of weird because Heat fans don't typically do that. They did it with Hassan, but Jimmy came like right after, so we didn't linger in that. But I kind of feel like Kyle is like, they just want him gone, and they would even take like negative return because they just don't want him here.
Yeah, I mean, some Heat fans have always had a weird relationship.
I mean, yeah, that's
just because of it's the salary. It's mostly the salary. They want to move. They never understood that they couldn't do anything with that money anyways. That money would have been gone. They wouldn't have had any salary cap space. So, you know, there's frustration there. There's also frustration with how he's approached the media and the fan base. Like, he hasn't taken accountability all the time. He's kind of, you know, he's had his own personal shit, and we know that, we respect that. But there's been a lot of issues with him just being like a grump, like just
like unnecessarily, like Franky, like that one off season when Riley gave him the challenge or whatever. Like, I didn't hear anything that Pat said. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, you could have just I talked to Pat, and, you know, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I didn't.
He just didn't embrace. You know what it is? I think for most people, he came. He didn't embrace the city. He didn't embrace the fans. Like, there, he didn't feel warm. And I know that's his personality because it seems like he's gruff. All right, I get
it.
He's
a surly guy.
You be you, but what also happens is in return, people will be them. And that's literally what happened. So he wasn't as warm. He wasn't embracing. And the fans were like, oh, who he think he is? You know, you came here on this big deal, and now you not even producing. You not even earning your money. You always hurt. Like, these are all the things I keep hearing about him. And a lot of it is true.
Yes.
And listen, the hurt part is the hurt part. That is whatever that's going to
He
be.
missed probably more games due to personal reasons than injury, which I will also say. And
Right.
fans don't seem too
Well, I don't talk
sympathetic.
about that part.
No,
That
you
part I
don't,
won't
but
talk
fans
about
do.
because that's not my business.
Fans talk about his quote unquote availability, right? Because they'll say availability. They don't say he's always hurt. They say availability, and it feels a little veiled. And listen, I'm not here to do the Kyle Lowry defense hour. That's not what I'm trying to do.
You're not?
No, I don't. Not really. That's my guy. But I mean, listen, at the end of the day, people don't like him. He's like one of the most unpopular Heat players ever, which is crazy to me, but whatever.
G is saying, as the great Barry Jackson once said, accept reality.
Barry Jackson telling the fans to touch grass is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. That guy told us all to get a fucking life.
He's not wrong.
He's totally not wrong.
He's totally not.
Let's just
like Zaslow said Lowry was the worst contract in Heat history. I was like, dude, Hassan Whiteside was like less than 4 years ago.
He wasn't even the most unpopular player on the team.
I will say it's Hassan because I'm going to say it's Hassan because essentially that was one of the keys to Dwayne stepping out the door.
Yeah,
that's why.
That's why.
Not the contract on its own merit.
Yeah. That wasn't the key, though. It was Tyler Johnson.
I didn't say that was the key.
She said one of.
All right, easy, killer. I mean, I understand. I understand what's going on with Kyle and all of this and that, but like, just take
I got to
it down
rehash. Not Tiff. Before you were on MHB, my war was with Tyler Johnson.
Yeah, it was so annoying.
Bumpy Robinson.
Nah, bro, he took Dwayne's money. Not Hassan.
He did it. Mickey could have paid it. He was cheap.
No, because Kyle wanted
surprise.
Dwayne wanted the third year, and Mickey didn't give it to him. But then Mickey gave Tyler Johnson an inflated third year.
Well,
and
we still making mistakes.
What stopped him from giving him the money? Because we gave him all these salary tax. Beno Udrih died for nothing. He gave him all these salary.
I can't believe we celebrated a tax break for Mickey.
You didn't want to pay the luxury tax because they're not in a serious team. They're a serious team now, and they don't want to go all in.
To be honest, guys, and I'm actually gonna be emo for a second. Barry Jackson's tweets about the organization spending put a stake in my fandom that I don't know if it will recover, because Barry essentially said they've done their winning and they're happy with being a good, not great team, and if they win again, yeehaw. They're going to invest in their development and their coaching and their front office so that they don't have to pay luxury tax for players. And to me, I mean, Barry might be parroting what an emotional front office is saying following one of their most high-profile failures. But, man, if that was not deflating to hear, I'm just like, ooh, y'all good just being the Pacers. Like, you know what I mean? And listen, like, maybe, you're just like, okay, well, like, I don't really want to pay the luxury tax for Gabe Vincent and Max Strus, but I will for Damian Lillard. And, like, that's, like, a fair thing to, like, I guess, right? It's like, okay, like, I don't want to, like, go over for, like, a role player. But, like, sometimes, like, when you're close, you just got to, like, pay these guys, right? And then if you have to trade, like, a first-round pick to get off of a contract because you don't want to pay, like, a repeater tax, like, that's fine. That's life. Like, I get that, right? But the fact that you don't even, like, dip your toe into it is just like, come on, guys.
Gee, they're literally going into training camp again with questions of point guard and the four.
They don't have a power forward that you trust.
Yeah.
And they don't have a point guard because the only one in town everybody would like to fucking shoot to Mars.
And the Arisons are committing money laundering with the patches on their fucking jerseys.
Yeah, that was weird. That was very weird.
What happened, Frankie?
The Carnival Cruises is going to be the patch sponsor for a year.
Better than Mr. Beast. It's better than Mr. Beast, bro. I mean, the Hornets took money from a YouTuber. Come on, man.
I don't know. It's like he's not setting themselves up, but like forewarning the idea of not a rebuild, but like an extensive kind of like.
It's like a self-retweet.
They doing a facelift.
Yeah, we're gonna shut down for a bit. We've had a great 30, however long run. We're gonna do some renovations. They're taking like a gap year or two. And I get what you're saying because it feels that way too. Like girl going up like, just go find me. Like, but I'm with you. Like they weren't far, and that's been my whole issue with this whole thing, this whole off season. Like they didn't have to do it this way, and I don't understand why that isn't more evident to people.
Right.
It's okay to like realize that you didn't really need what it is that it was a genuine high price luxury item, a highly coveted, super functional luxury item, but you didn't need it. You were cool with kind of what you had. Invest more in that and stabilize in some of not even the fringe areas, but I don't know. I too was kind of deflated by that G, and just like damn. So we just good right here, right? So 6, them 4 years with the 3, these last 4 years of almost getting it done real close, and we just
Jimmy made me forget all that, by the way, which is again speaking to how great.
Yeah, like the last 4 years have been fun. Like once you zoom the fuck out a bit and like kind of relax and take some breaths, like the kind of history and perspective of it all kind of starts to settle in place a little bit. And so I guess the organization can feel like they're in the spot to kind of back up. But I feel like Heat fans are so fucking drilled down, but not even really, but just like so up close that I think you kind of lose perspective on what the org, I guess, kind of has been able to do. But I didn't like it either.
Yeah,
because how many times do you tap on the door without opening it?
Like we're right there, like, or stop tapping on the door. Just get out the neighborhood. Like, don't even be here. But like, turn the knob. God damn it!
It's like they've been giving the coaching staff coals, and the coaching staff has turned these coals into diamonds, and the front office is like, hey, we've been giving y'all diamonds. No, motherfuckers. Are skating around here. Some of those coals were turds of shit. You didn't give us anything there, and now you can't shop for diamonds. You've been saving all this money. You can't buy a diamond, and you didn't even need a diamond this offseason.
You didn't need a
pieces. Denver turned the corner when they got healthy, but also when they got Aaron Gordon and Bruce Brown. Are those guys diamonds? Those are two good players.
Yep.
Yes, but they are role players. They just fit perfectly around their main guys. You needed to find the right fit.
Fucking Aaron Gordon.
They got like 12, 13 guys that are going to fight for playing time this season. And we'll see how the coaching staff does with them.
Franky, you just gave me flashbacks to Aaron Gordon fucking putting poor Gabe Vincent under the basket in like.
First of all, he put our whole team under the
No, but
basket.
like the image of poor Gabe, because like it's not Gabe's fault. Gabe's like what 6'2", you know what I mean? Like fucking 6'9" Aaron Gordon and poor Gabe Vincent, like you know what I mean? Like
and the shooting
there,
our guards
60% from 3.
Our guards got manhandled all season.
No, for sure.
Just night in and out.
I mean, every single night.
Hey,
it was
we ain't
just
got no guards
hope.
anymore though.
Fucking
Our guards can't get mauled if we ain't got
Bruce
guards.
Middleton, Aaron Gordon, fucking
Was
Evan
killing
Mobley, just
Middleton, I don't give a fuck.
just under the basket, like.
I want to
Sure,
say one
G,
thing
he's
because
huge.
I want to just pivot to like smaller things for media day, and then we're gonna get out of here. But I just want to say one thing, and we don't have to expand on it. I'm not scared of Drew Holiday. Duncan Robinson put his ass under the fucking rim. Okay, guys, get real. I'm not scared of Porzingis either. Get fucking real. Okay?
I mean, you shouldn't be. You ain't on
I'm
the
scared
court.
of Dame in Milwaukee. I'm not fucking scared of Porzingis, Derek White, Jalen. I can't dribble Brown. Come on, bro. Fuck out of here.
all right. It's time gonna run out on some of these jokes and some of these
Exactly.
motherfuckers.
I know,
that
right?
we-
It's only
like,
it's only so long you keep repeating your
When that
albums
man
over
can
and
dribble
over.
with both hands, then we can have a conversation. Until then,
Right.
he's a turnover factory. I'm sorry. I like Jalen Brown, but you know,
you're not wrong.
would you want Jalen Brown on your team on that contract?
Yes.
You're not
it's
gonna
better.
sway me.
I'll take him. You want me to say no? Looking at what I got right now.
But he said
Like-
we have Jalen Brown at home, okay?
Who?
Jamal
Where?
Cain is there, Jalen Brown.
Where? What? We said Akez is the Jalen Brown replacement.
We have
Okay.
We have Hackett.
Is the answer.
I would.
Whatever.
Who you afraid of, G?
I'm afraid of the Bucks.
Folks want Buddy Hill, but wouldn't want Jalen Brown, and that's no shade to Buddy. Love Buddy down.
I don't want Buddy.
No, I love he Twitter now saying we should have got Beal.
Right. Oh, but when we
Yeah.
but when it
I
was
forgot-
said it,
by the way,
when we
I'm not
said
gonna
it,
do
Franky,
that. because I was like, fuck it, swing for Dame. I'm not gonna look Siobhan in the face and say, yeah, they should have just gone for.
G, we had a whole side chat cussing you out because you kept saying go for Dame.
Yeah.
We were so mad because we wanted what
But
was the bird
it
in the
wasn't just
hand.
you.
It wasn't just you, but you the only one
all
here.
of these people just
Yes.
hollering at me. Oh, so we mad about Bill. Oh, we mad about Rui Hachimura. Oh, we mad. At some point, like we got to start like looking at okay, and it's not about being mad that you didn't get them, but this idea that just only this one, it has to be this way. This big bitch, this bad bitch right here. This is like.
Well, that comes back, Bond. That comes back to they don't want to pay tax, right? Like
sure. Then I guess
sure,
we've been
but then you got what you got.
That comes down to a couple things. So like I don't like getting guys like Hachimura are like you gotta send picks, which they don't like sending right now because they're saving them. And
they don't like sending picks. They don't
what
like
we saving them for?
But then you also just said it's okay to attach a pick to get off of a. So
no, that's what I'm saying that I would do.
No, that's what they're gonna do though.
I said that's what if you got to, you do it. But I'm just saying that like no, well, Rui went for a second, so I mean they could have. I don't know.
We could. He could start on this team.
He would be starting.
He could start on this team.
He'd be the fourth best player on this team.
You don't think so?
It's that, and my thing is always like, and I tweeted this yesterday or the day before, I don't remember, but like they have a weird construction because their two best players can't shoot, or Jimmy only shoots in April, and I think when you have less options to plug in, because if Bam was a 35% shooter, you can probably put a so-so shooter like Hachimura and then not be that big a deal, and you just say we'll figure it out. But the problem is like you have one guy who just won't take him, another guy who's just bad at him, right? And then everybody else is a little shaky. And I just think that like when your offense is struggling so much, you cannot introduce a shaky shooter. And a lot of guys that are available, like Hachimura, that are interesting talents, are a little bit of shaky shooters. And I just don't think that they can take on a risk. Personally, Abon, I know you disagree.
I only disagree because shooting, and I've said this years ago, shooting is not that hard to increase. It's not that hard to work on, especially when you have the size, the frame, the athleticism, just kind of all of the innateness. Shooting is
Jimmy
not.
Jimmy hasn't figured it out. Bam hasn't really figured
Jimmy just doesn't want to do it. You just like Jimmy can do it.
He could do it in April. Dwayne never figured it out.
Because he never needed to. Dwayne was cool trying to split doubles and doing all of that other stuff. Dwayne didn't get to it until he had no choice kind of but to get to it.
They practice and they get worse.
But G, like you said, like you don't want to introduce something different. Like they were literally the worst offensive team in the league. Introducing something different might
and that's a fair thing. I'm just saying as a general rule, like when I say I don't want a guy, it's usually because they're a shaky shooter. By the way, LeBron and his little culture appropriation jokes to Rui were so weird today.
Didn't even have to do it that far.
What happened? I missed it. Never mind. Do I even?
LeBron's just using honorifics wrong, and I was like, you don't got to do that. Just Buddy's name is Rui, bro.
He said he was Miyagi to Rui.
Yeah.
Then he was making. He was just doing a whole thing.
And nobody called him out on it.
Of course not. It was Taco Tuesday all over again.
Yeah, that's yeah.
All right, guys. So a couple. I'm trying to keep the show shorter, but yeah, we're almost at 50 minutes. A couple.
There's so much to talk about.
I know.
Me.
So very quickly. Caleb's like, I don't care if I start. I just want to win games.
Love that.
I thought that was huge.
I love that for Caleb.
They need. Lord knows they need the flexibility.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For sure. I still don't know. I still don't think there's a for sure right answer to what the starters are going to be. We talked a little bit in our chat today, but there's like anything they really try, you can kind of make sense of. Like you want to do Josh and Caleb together with the three guys. You can buy in on going fast and wreaking havoc and pushing pace. If you want to put Josh and Love or Caleb and Love, like traditionally a little more size, that's you understand that too. I think we know one of Josh and Caleb are going to start because they need a point of attack defender, but the other guy I have no idea.
It's going to be Kevin. Kevin's going to start, and then I don't know what they're going to do at guard.
They need to get whoever's starting. Somebody needs to be able to get downhill. Whoever is you, you cannot be a
You don't want the answer to that. You don't want the answer to that.
Who? Do we have the answer to who?
Right, because they need that.
We have a little overweight point guard that
All right, we're not.
during
Come
stretches.
on, we're having good faith conversations here.
Okay.
Is he not their best option going downhill at guard?
No.
Who is?
I would trust Tyler more with all of his dribbling in place at just kind of going like, I maybe not being rude. Like I know like Kyle gets there, and I've never really needed someone to get there and have to take the shot. He's fine to like get there and get the pass out, but like
he's the whole pro.
But he gets there, pivots, and looks for a pass.
You know.
That's a
but if they would draw up some shit, like they tried putting the ball in Caleb's hands, like at the top of the key, but never put any structure behind it. They were just wanting Caleb to read like pick and roll stuff until like the very end.
That was the scariest moment of my life.
They gave him a cool little diagonal stagger and then kind of just unfold from there. They wanted him to like go survey who's stepping up, where like all this other stuff.
When Caleb had the ball, at the top of the key against the Celtics and was running the offense,
Caleb went no downshift. I'm like, come on, y'all gotta give this man some direction.
Caleb, do him.
You know them.
It's Caleb time.
You know them damn coloring books where they'll like number which sections to color. What you got? That's Caleb. Like, make art, but like use these materials.
It's that in and out with the right that he's always gonna go to.
I like him with the starters just because I think that he's really good at attacking bent defenses.
Yes,
and
use him there.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I also like Kevin, and I think that like Caleb and Jimmy. I think like Bam sits, and probably like Tyler, and then like Kyle and Caleb come in, right? And then so they kind of play like Jimmy, Caleb, Kyle.
I think Kyle comes out first. You said you have Bam. I think Kyle is the first up.
No, but like, I'm not. I don't think Kyle's gonna start.
Oh,
like Kyle comes in for. I think they'll probably start Josh and Tyler, and then like probably Tyler. I think that they'll try to play Tyler and Bam together because that worked out last season. I think pretty well. Like in pick and roll, I thought they like looked good. And if Tyler's gonna have a good scoring year, I hope so. Yeah, I just thought that was something interesting. And then obviously Bam gave his annual "I'm gonna shoot threes and be aggressive" speech, which I gotta be honest with you.
He's gonna play faster this year. I haven't seen that quote.
Every coach says that every year, bro. I've done this enough.
First year I haven't seen Spo say it. I'm shocked. I actually think this is the year they should play a lot faster with as many bodies as they have.
Maybe he just gave up on lying to us.
Yeah, I actually
y'all
think
never
like,
had to lie. Y'all can say, we're gonna try to work in some offense. We're gonna take our time and be like methodical about this thing.
Pace, and they played slow. It's insane.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But Bon and Tiff, I wanted to get your opinion on it. But like, with all their forwards that can handle a little bit, at least in secondary transition and fast break opportunities, Caleb, JJJ, Josh, Jovic, love with the outlet passes. Tyler's that underrated outlet passer. Lowry, of course. Don't you think like the way to like mitigate some of these presumed half court issues of not having that lead guy, they should just get out and run, force pressure on defense, heavy pressure on defense, turnovers, and get out, like similar to like the Big 3 days, but with more athletes.
No, they should be running. And we forgot about Hamish. Like,
another guy.
They literally, you're going to be playing these young guys, and it seems like it's like 12. Like, you had no wings. Now you got like 12, but they're all good at something. So, like, if you could put everything together, you have one great wing, but they're all just, like, good at little things. So you really going to be, if you're running 2 or 3 of them at a time, they got to be getting up and down the court. I think that's also, I keep saying it, this is the way Bam gets easy shots. I have not seen Bam on the break enough. Like, I don't understand how Max and Jimmy seem like they were the recipient of all these passes last year when it wasn't just Bam getting the rebound. It was other people getting the rebound. Like, he's got to get out and go.
Jimmy hates playing fast, so that's the only kind of wrench in this.
Jimmy ain't got to run.
He can make the pass.
He can make the pass.
Quietly, as a Bam type of player, like if you, depending on what the particular knee issue is, like springing off of those toes at a particular type of angle, that can do some kind of exacerbating. But I agree with you, Tiffany. I agree with you too, Franky. And you don't have a solid PG that you feel like fully solid about. You don't have you don't really have like a 4 to kind of that one that you feel comfortable about, or that's going to kind of lumber and be in the way, I guess.
Right.
So why not kind of be fluid? Frankie, you talked about, guys like Caleb. And I think, kind of Caleb was gone. I think Jay Rich for me would have been some of the Caleb replacement, not like the Max replacement. But guys who are at least adept enough in kind of bent defenses or like a bent coverage, and the break is all bent coverages. Teams don't get back well in transition, so you have the opportunity to kind of you have some maneuverability, but in enough space that you're probably not too turnover prone, so you mitigate some of the slowness or like ineffectiveness in the half court offense. So I think that's really spot on. And this feels like the youngest they've been in a minute and the most athletic.
Yep.
Even if it's sneakingly so and all, still leche colored. But I think you're right.
And I kind of go back to like the Warriors. Like I think not even the death lineup. Well, I felt like one of their best lineups was like Livingston, Iguodala, Clay, Dre, like and maybe like a Barbosa, somebody. Guys who just big bodies.
Barbosa was just like randomly athletic. Just do random athletic things. Like
they just got to run the fast break a lot better than they ran it last year.
Run the lanes. If you're gonna run it well.
But when they would run into each other in transition, that shit drove me mad.
When Jimmy and Bam would just sit in each other's laps.
Oh my god! In the paint when they just
Tyler's dribbling the ball up trying to get a layup. It's like, whoa, motherfuckers!
No, I agree.
So, yeah, I mean, so today was an eventful day. Bon, I want to get your thoughts on this video of Gabe Vincent looking very sad in a Laker jersey.
Look at my man. And like he doesn't even have the signature Gabe plaits. He looks good in the straight backs and like the we've all of those braiding variations, but the individual 6-8 plaits that he in the head, it's like he doesn't have the signature Gabe pineapple.
No,
the face. Like, why would you freeze it right there? Someone say he doesn't even look good in colors, and he does. The skin is the skin, but it washes. It doesn't pop.
He doesn't look happy. On the opposite end. This guy. That's a Max Struz happy. Look at that. That's a $17 million smile, Tiff.
He damn near. I thought his hand on the ball was just a thumbs up.
He's beaming.
Tiff, talk about the shoes.
Yeah, don't talk about the shoes.
What's going on? What's going on with DePaul's?
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of those. Not a fan of those. Next question.
But he looks great. He looks fantastic.
He does. He does. He looks good in red.
Are those
you don't have to.
Yeah.
Max is just so happy to be back up north.
Max is trying to be an ally.
To what?
Stop. Listen to me. Stop.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. I didn't even know. I just saw that on Twitter right now.
No, they are the Sabrinas, and they're like a cool shoe.
He does look good at anything.
Everybody likes playing in. Everybody likes playing in the Kobe. That's always.
Yeah.
I hear the Kobe shoes are like the most
Kobe motif. Yeah.
They're the most comfortable shoe to play in. I have a pair of Kyrie's that Alex.
They are comfy.
Kyrie's are nice. I like PGs too.
I was gonna say PG is my favorite hoop, the first generation Paul George.
Yeah, I still have those.
Do you like KD's?
I've never played with KD's.
I've never played in KD's, but I also know better than to I play with the shoes of people who have similar games or like frames to me. So like Paul George, I had some Kyrie's, but I was a big it worked. You're never gonna see me playing in almost LeBrons. Don't really care.
I was gonna say like Bon, I don't
space boots.
Not to be fact, like I'm not familiar with your game. I thought you were like a Rodman kind of player.
It's very Rodman and Bam with some Hamish.
Like the Taj Gibson ones.
Gee, who do you play like?
I love you kidding.
Adam Lambert.
No, I play horrible. Give me the mechanic. Give me the mechanic ones.
Adam Lambert. The Lambert one.
The Lambert's ones.
Man.
By the way, this was the meme I was telling you guys about.
I'm weak. This is who now? Tell me this. Who was this?
That was me. That was me at the makeup section today. Right? I'm just like, damn. What do I? I even made this visual.
Oh, God.
All right.
Just trying trying to
Oh my
figure
God.
out where I'm at.
You
Listen,
brought a
guys,
picture of Jimmy and is like, I'll have what he's having.
I'll have
Yeah,
what he's
give me
having.
Make me that.
I went to Publix after the gym, man. I look like a crazy. I sweat when I go to the gym, and my hair was a mess. I'm just there in the makeup section, hands on my hips, like, what are we?
I know we're trying to get out of here, but I have
What are we doing?
two more things I want to ask you guys about. It's about the kids. One, Ami saying he's taking reps, like he's working on a lot of two guard stuff, and Nicola saying, kind of the people that he kind of looks up to or emulates or whatever would be
Oh,
Kevin
yes.
Love and Franz Wagner. Someone please touch on those things for me, because I thought both of those nuggets were delicious.
Who said that?
Jovic.
Nikki,
Jovic, Nikki.
I'm not gonna lie, Bon. At first, when I saw he said he wanted to play like Wagner, I thought he meant the other guy. I was like, God, you're setting yourself so low.
yeah, you could be better than
You
this.
could
I
be
got
better
so
than
scared.
this.
All I pictured was that Adam Sandler hustle movie. And
Yes.
Wagner being the bus. I was like,
I still
no.
haven't watched that. That was shot at LaSalle too. I still
It
haven't
was
seen
it was like Anakin, you were supposed to run from the darkness, not become.
I'm weak.
But no, I love that aspiration of like being a big guard and
Yeah.
physical.
Yes.
Like France is awesome. He's so fun
He's
to watch.
fantastic.
He's
Yeah.
so skilled and so big. Like if Jovic can become a fraction of that, like modeling his game and skill set like that, that would go a long way in the Heat's future.
Yep.
Coupling that with Jaquez, like I don't ever really expect Spo to lean too much into that, but just like I think both of those, if used in these creative types of ways, again, who says that we see it this season? But like those are like very nice aspirational things to sit with and to hold on to. I'm not mad that we got to keep the kids. I told you I ain't want to do what we was trying to do anyway. And so if we just gonna settle for being as we are as an organization, I can root for these kids.
Well, look at it this way. Like they looked at the roster and they see where there are holes to be filled.
Exactly.
So they know if I can kind of fit my game into this role, I'll get minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And they've seen it work. They've seen the guys, the Maxes, the Gabes that fit their game into it, and then they get to expand upon it a little bit more. And they understand, hey, if I do the little things, the team's gonna be successful, but I'm also gonna get to play and grow and earn some money. Like these guys are like, credit to Max and Gabe. They've earned themselves like $100 million this offseason. So they, all those guys got to see that and aspire to be that. And we already know Jovic with all that muscle he put on, he's got the work ethic. In 1 year, he did really well in the World Cup. And Jaquez models his game after Jimmy. He knows about hard work and effort and what it takes. So I'm excited. I think the young kids, the Heat fans are down about Dame and rightfully so for the frustration of not getting Jimmy enough help, but I trust the coaching staff. I trust the guys that they have in there to make the most of the roster as is.
Right.
No matter what it happens, like success-wise, I don't know, but I think they're going to be watchable. And as a fan, like that's what you really want. You want them to be watchable.
Right. Last thing I'll say to that, just the idea of maybe taking what feels like an unconventional fitting piece, but really if you look at it and work with it in the ways that it's needed to fit, they're moldable pieces. They're not Dame whom you're asking to go play up at the 4 for you. They are still like young enough to where you can kind of melt them and kind of make a whole fit really well with something that you maybe not have thought that you could use, but it still functions really well, rather than this tiny sponge that is a sponge that's supposed to plug this hole, but I'm trying to like stretch it and kind of make it more than what it is maybe meant to be.
Give me Gumby. I like Jovic's Gumby. That's what I want to see.
I'm very excited for camp. I'm very excited to see kind of where everything ends up from here. But listen, it's going to be an exciting season, and I'm actually more. I today got me to a place where I'm excited because kind of going in, I was kind of bummed, and I think, like I said, I'm trying to bring it back to, being sad about this team was just a phase, right? This I feel better. Jimmy injected a little life, a little joy. Josh going around giving everyone positivity stickers was funny. I don't know if you guys saw that video that he
did.
put out. And he even gave Duncan one. He's like, I know, you're so hard on yourself. And I was like, everybody knows that Duncan's just extra hard on himself. That was cute. I love Josh. I'm so happy that he's back. And like I said, we're gonna preview the season. Kind of. Chat says that was corny. It was not corny. It was nice.
It's not corny. God damn.
Be nice to that was Cardeliana that said it was corny too. I said, she's a nice one in our chat. Then
She said extra corny.
Extra.
Lecher's agenda. She never seen a person with that much eyeliner. So they're excited.
Carlitiana says except reality. That was corny.
Except reality, extra corny. We'll see y'all next week for a preview of. I believe we're gonna do guards. I don't know. We'll discuss internally. We're gonna preview
Quickest show of the year.
we should combine guards and like another thing.
We can do the guards and the forwards together.
Can have a musical
Grand
performance
opening.
at halftime of the show.
Grand closing, okay?
Grand opening, grand closing.
We're gonna be like a college kid, like trying to get to like a word count on an essay.
No,
Can we get to 15 minutes?
No.
We love you guys. We'll see y'all next week, and rock out, bro.
Love y'all.